Cozy Realm, good morning. How are you? Hi. Hello, Michelle. How are you doing? Loki is all excited. The house is full. Seda, good morning. Bradley, good morning. Resell, Mama Danielle, good morning. Good morning, Mama Razzi. How are you? Good morning. Good morning. Thrifting with ADHD. Good morning. Good morning, East Ender Resales, Little Big Town. Vanessa, good morning, everybody. Ooh, and we might actually be live on YouTube today. That'll be exciting if it actually works this time. Fingers crossed. Good morning, everybody. So feel free to ask your questions and share your shows. Yet again, for some reason, the I cannot see questions as easily for some. I don't know why. I don't know why I can't sort on iOS. I don't know what kind of update they did. I need to add it. Good Big Daddy's Bargain Bin. Good morning, Elysium. Good morning. Okay, I'm scrolling up. We're actually going to talk about January, and talking about the concept of the January slump and the reality of January. Drip Locker. Good morning. What you got, Loki? Do you want to come say hi? Do you want to come up? Do you want to come up? Come on up and say hello. January is sales. That's what January is. January is more opportunity for sales. So that's what we're gonna talk about today. So my first question, Cozy Realm says hi, Loki. He's running around. He's very excited. Daddy's home. Luca's here. Maddie's here. The house is full. True North Breaks. Good morning. So it's gonna be a little chaotic during my show today because the house is chaotic. Okay. So my first question for all of you is, does January feel slower than December for you? If you've sold before on any platform, does January feel slower to you than December? Good morning, Lexi. Good morning, I Said Groovy. Good morning, baseballcardstore.ca. Phoenix says hi. She's playing with her new Christmas tree toy. I love it. Thrifting with ADHD. Hello, season greetings to you as well. Merry Christmas. I hope everyone had a great Christmas and a good Boxing Day. I saw there were some people on whatnot. Time Hop Treasure says, I'm back in with shows in January. Please bookmark. Man of the North, good morning. Robert, good morning. So does January feel normally slower to you than December? Yes or no? Lexi Lux says January is usually good for me. Yes, and I'm going to talk about why category specifically. I Said Groovy, thank you for the tip. You are awesome. Thank you so much. Everyone, please follow I Said Groovy. That is so sweet. Thank you so much. I'm going to be talking, Lexi, about how you are an excellent example of why January can work really well. Yeah, vintage and secondhand fashion does so in December, but becomes hot again in this time of year. It's like the hello, Erica, they make me smile. How are you? Okay, so let's get into it. So here's what I want you to think about for January. A lot of people talk about a January slump. I'm doing good, Erica. I hope you're doing well. Hope you had a great Christmas with the kids. Welcome in, everybody. If you're new, welcome in. Feel free to check my show notes. We're going to talk today about January slump and, well, what is considered to be a January slump. January isn't actually dead. There is only a slight decrease in sales, statistically. It's different. And this is why I'm going to help you reframe your plans for January. Even just slightly, little things that you can do, because January isn't necessarily dead. It's just different and people are thinking differently. So let's start with the truth. Okay. January feels slower for a lot of sellers because there's fewer impulse buyers. The chat tends to be quieter and it may feel like everyone's disappeared, but we're going to talk about, that's the feeling that a lot of people talk about and I've talked about it. I've been like, oh, January is going to be a slump. I've done it myself, but the data shows something totally different. So in both the US and Canada, January retail sales almost always fall compared to December, but only by a little bit. It's seasonal and expected, but it's not a collapse in demand. It's a change in buyer behavior. So at the same time, year-over-year sales have continued to remain positive and online sales continue to increase, and Whatnot is an online platform. Good morning, Dave. Meaning people are still spending, just they're more selective during this time of year. So this past January, retail sales fell by just under 1%, just under 1% in the US, month over month. So January 2025 compared to December 2024 only decreased by 1%. Um, and that's from the US Census Bureau. And in fact, what they said, the US Census Bureau and other news sources felt that decrease in January was actually caused by the growing uncertainty around a certain administration coming in at the end of January, and that affected sales. Now, this is going to continue because that administration continues, but the reality is the year over year, December to January, the difference is usually around 1%. In Canada, Statistics Canada reported that January 2025 retail sales declined only 0.6%. And the weakness was concentrated on things like automobiles, not everyday or discretionary hobby spending, which we're going to be talking about. So January isn't a fall, it isn't a plunge. It's not a huge slump. It is a change in buyer behavior. They're moving their money in different directions. So that is what we are going to be looking at. Good morning. So I'm going to skip that chat prompt that I wrote. So January buyers, this is what I want you to think about. January buyers are not impulse buyers. Lexi, thank you for the tip. Everyone, please follow Lexi. Lex, you're so sweet. They're not impulse buyers, they're intentional buyers. And you need to become an intentional seller to convince those intentional buyers to hit purchase, buy, or to bid. So the psychology shift has been backed by research. Post-holiday consumers pull back on emotional spending. They focus on value, usefulness, identity, and long-term satisfaction. And I'm going to tell you how to translate that into sales, okay? They spend more time researching and comparing before they buy. So some of the impulse buying that what we traditionally use and whatnot isn't as effective during this time because people are more cautious with their money. Remember, they've spent a lot over the holidays. They're not stopping their spending, they are reframing their spending. So consumer behavior studies have consistently shown that post-holiday spending becomes more planned and selective, especially online. Online and non-store, like non-brick and mortar retail, continues to outperform brick and mortar locations in January because it supports intent-based shopping. People are going to be coming to your shows and they're going to be thinking about purchases rather than necessarily making that purchase that day. So think about how you write your descriptions. Your listing titles and your descriptions are even more important now because people are spending more time researching. So this actually makes Whatnot a really great place to sell if you adjust how you sell, okay? So again, some of the things that we normally use on Whatnot, some of the like impulse purchase tactics don't work. They still work, but they don't work as well in January as they do in other months because of this shift in mindset. So buyers will often ask not about price because they can, hopefully you've got the listing and they can see the price. They're going to be asking you about details about the item. So let's talk about what categories hold up really well in January so that if you have a variety of stock, you can plan shows that are themed around these kind of categories. So I'm not going to say what's hot. I'm going to say, why do people still buy this in January? So here are some category specific examples. So in collectibles and value holding categories, which Whatnot is huge in these categories, value holding categories, trading card games, sports, TCG, non-sports, any trading cards are extremely hot right now. And they're considered to be not just an excitement and an emotional purchase, but they are an investment. And you're hearing about this a lot, even on mainstream news, where they're talking about how a Pokemon is now considered like an investment just as good as gold and bullion. I don't think that's true. I'd rather have gold or bullion personally. because I don't know enough about Pokemon mainly. But trading cards, coins, and currency are always going to be a great thing to sell during this time because people are looking for those value holding categories, stamps and ephemera, vintage and antiques. If you reframe them as being something that's a long term investment, are all really good. Lexi says, I feel like this is why we do well with selling our vintage furs an investment and people like to keep them forever. Yes, it's not just a spur on the moment. You're thinking about things that they can. So for example, if you're selling in clothes, even if it's not vintage furs, which is it's a collectible now, you want to think, this item that I'm selling, sell it so that it can be used. This is something you can use now, you can use in the spring, you can use on those summer nights, like jackets and cardigans and that sort of thing. They work across all seasons. So thinking about reframing things that you're selling so that people understand that there's a long-term value to them rather than just a short-term purchase that they're going to use for a short period of time. Designer accessories, always a good one. Pop culture collectives, and any limited run merchandise. Now, why do these work in January? So, buyers are seeing intentional purchases, they're holding personal and perceived long term value. And they align with the buy something I actually wanted. And I'm going to talk about this too, about how to like frame things in your show. Like, you didn't get what you wanted for Christmas. Well, come to my show and buy what you wanted for Christmas. So, Whatnot relevance. Whatnot publicly positions itself as with collectibles, cards, fashion, and vintage as core categories, driving platform growth. And that is because these have that long-term investment. Like there's a long-term value in making these purchases. And that always holds up month after month, whether it's January all the way to December. Value, long-term value purchases, perceived long-term value. Doesn't have to actually be long-term. Perceived long-term value is what you're trying to get your buyers to understand. So add one's context. This is what something you can do in all of your shows with all your stuff. Add one's context of sentence of context to the item before you hit start auction. So why does it matter to purchase this? Why is this something that's going to last? Why someone keeps this item? Adding that sentence each time, adding some reason for that long-term investment or long-term use is important. So other categories that work really well. Hobbies, DIY, and creative categories work really, really well in January. And that's because people do a reset in January. So they're looking to start a new hobby. So for example, craft supplies, art materials, sewing, yarn, beads, model kits, journals and stationery, ephemera for junk journals. So those ankle weights, yes, anything, accessories. This is the peak moment when people start projects and habits. Consumers buy fewer things but more purposeful ones. So if you have craft supplies lying around, if you're a vintage seller and you've got craft supplies lying around, if you've got ephemera and junk journal stuff, do a themed show around that because people are looking for that. Anything to get those. Yeah. So retail analysis consistently shows that hobby and leisure categories maintain demand post holiday, especially online. So my recommendation is if you sell in the craft category, if you sell craft supply items, sell starter kits, not just random lots. Because people want to start that hobby. And then make sure you name the shows after an outcome so that people can see exactly what they're going to get. So instead of saying selling yarn, say start your crochet hobby, start your start your yarn collection for your next knitting project, that sort of thing. Okay, and then fashion and accessories. Your comments are disappearing. I don't know. Let me just unmod you, Melody, so you can see things. I can't see all the questions. I apologize, everyone. I'm going to try and go back to them after I'm done this. I don't know what page we're at. Anyways, selling fashion and accessories, the January version of this. January fashion is not about trends. It's about function and refresh. So clothing and accessories are consistently among the categories that rebound the fastest after the holidays, especially online. So that's great if you're already in that category. So bundle outfits is a recommendation that I have for you. Bundling outfits, selling outfits that people, because people are looking for a they're looking for an opportunity to refresh their wardrobe. It's kind of like new you, new look. So you want to workout attire, definitely. Workout attire is huge because anything that's about losing pounds, working out, getting fitter, getting healthier, all that. So you want to do a function and refresh. Remember, make sure that there's function involved in refresh. And so bundling outfits and selling outfits. Now, certainly if someone says, I don't really want the whole bundle, I just want X. But yeah, styling outfits to show not only here's this jacket, but here's an entire set. And like also showing for example, if you have a skirt that you're going to sell, showing how to use the skirt with a jacket and then with, adding leggings and adding this shirt and showing that the versatility of items is really important. Um, Making sure to frame that within, so explaining how that item fits into real life. So this is going to be less about impulse purchases for super pretty things that can only be worn once or twice. We're talking about focusing on items that have that long-term value. Use buy it now. So if you've got items that are of a higher price point, put them in your buy it now rather than your auction, and make sure that you have lots of a good description and a good title so that people can look and shop with confidence, like going through your catalog. Think of it like you're doing a Sears wish book for January of all of your items, if anyone's old enough to remember the Sears wish book. Fashion sellers, my question to you is bundles or singles? What works better for you? Have you even tried bundles before? And how has it worked for you? Because this is my recommendation, is to try looking at doing some bundle outfits. Okay, moving on. They make me smile says, I will try more bundles this year. Yay. Okay. Now the next one is for it's for everybody. Valentine's Day. This is where you can reconnect emotion and get those emotions coming back that buyers have tried to get away from in January. But Valentine's Day is coming up faster than we know. So Valentine's Day is your next big emotional buying trigger. Buyers who shop earlier for items, they're looking for meaningful or limited edition items that they can offer or that they can use. Okay. So you're looking at buyers who shop earlier. If you do a Valentine's show, say at the beginning of January, they're looking for meaningful items. They're looking for items. Another spicy book show. Exactly. Action sellers can take label items as gift ready. Curate Valentine specific buy it nows. Put stuff in your buy it now that are Valentine gifts. Write in your title. Your title can be really long. Write in your title, this is a Valentine gift. When people go on to Whatnot, there are people who search for gift for dad, gift for husband, gift for Valentine. So put that in your title or somewhere in your description. Now, when you're selling it, whether you're doing it as a buy it now and pinning it, or you're doing you're going into your buy it now and doing a flash sale for it, or you're auctioning it off. If you're doing curated specific items for Valentine's, make sure you say why it's a good gift. Again, we have to still there's the emotion, but we need to add the value added part of that. And remember, you could sell tools, and that's a love language for a lot of people who like tools. Like, I love you, here's a set of tools so that you can work on that project I asked you to do 10 times. So plan a Valentine's show, or 2 or 3 or 10 Valentine's shows, or bring Valentine's into your shows going forward so that you can take advantage of those folks who are looking for or suddenly, you're in the middle of your show and you just say, oh, by the way, I've got some really great Valentine's themed gifts in the buy it now. For example, I just saw B&D Collectibles Canada. Hello. Why not I just actually bought a bunch of minifigures that are couples. They're couple sets of minifigures. There's like, there's the Star Wars couple, Princess Leia and whoever is her love interest. I can't remember now. Anyways, they're all these little cute little couple ones. Imagine that as a gift for Valentine's Day. Like, you really love Star Wars. I'm going to give you this really cute little couples, show the love, all that kind of stuff, all those things. All right, that's Valentine's. Um, and now I want to talk about the real life outside of Whatnot. How do retailers out in the wild handle January? And and I think that it's going to reframe for some people how they think about the January slump. It's not a slump. It's a change in direction. So regular retail, brick and mortar stores, the big box stores, and the smaller retailers, they don't survive January by discounting everything. Okay. And that you should do the same thing. Do not start discounting everything thinking that's the way that you're going to drive sales. They survive by simplifying. So here's what large retailers do. These are documented trends. They offer fewer choices. They simplify what they're trying to market. They do clear purpose messaging. Why should you buy this? How is it going to fit into your life? And what are the long term values of buying this item? And they use loyalty incentives instead of blanket discounts to bring you back. So you will see bigger retailers pushing their points programs, their clubs. They're going to push all of that. They're going to be pushing their loyalty incentives. And I'm already seeing it in the emails that I'm getting from retailers yesterday and today. It's like, come back, here's a coupon, come back, rewards points. Yeah, rewards points. So your rewards club is going to be part of you, of doing the exact same thing. And coupons, putting a coupon in with your, if you don't have a rewards club yet, put a coupon in. Put a coupon in when you ship something out. Offer a coupon in your show. Give loyalty incentives instead of doing huge blanket discounts. You do not need to do like a $1 starts in order to get people, right? Yeah, it helps so much, makes your customer feel valued. And also it a coupon, if they use the coupon, it means they bought something. You can do giveaways all you want, and giveaways have their time and place, but I truly believe that coupons are what drives purchases. And I would rather give a coupon to everybody and have it cost me, say, $50, but I every single, $5 times 10 people, $50. Yeah, but they all purchase something, right? And then they usually purchase something else. So that's the reason why also big retailers continue to use coupons. That's why you still get coupons in the mail. You still see coupons because coupons work. So if you have rewards club, that's great. And remind people to go up to the rewards club and redeem your coupons. If you've got an egg from me, then you've got lots of coupons that you use. Yeah, if you haven't reached rewards club yet, you can create coupons in marketing. You go to seller.whatnot.com and then go to the promotion section, which is like a bunch of arrows going up. It's like promotion and marketing and coupons. It's really quick and easy to add them. And it makes a huge difference in your sales. Coupons are easy. And Whatnot statistics have already shown that it increases buying by 50%. And that's what you want. You want the first purchase. You need the person to make the first purchase in your show. And then after that, they'll usually continue on because then they've broken their shipping too, right? Okay, so large retailers offer fewer choices, not more choices. They do clear purpose messaging and they offer loyalty incentives instead of blanket discounts. So do not start cutting your prices thinking that's what's going to sell. That's just a race to the bottom. Remember that you can do some discounts, but do not do major discounts thinking that that's the only way you're going to be able to sell in January. It's all about purpose, value driven. So post-holiday retail strategy emphasizes bundling, loyalty, and intent-driven promotions rather than deep markdowns. So focus on that yourself. So let's talk about Whatnot tools that you can use and how to use them in January. So auctions. Auctions is like the number one that is used the most by most sellers. So that's great for unique items, competitive categories, items that have got story or scarcity. Um, I recommend that because people are thinking more and doing purpose driven purchases, looking for that value added, that you slow your pace slightly. Now, not in every category. A lot of categories, they need to keep that high pace. But in other categories, especially like vintage, anything where it's not going to be obvious, right? Give megahertz, slow your pacing a little bit. So take more time to explain the value of the item before you run the auction. Remember to pin the item, talk about it, run it. Pin, talk, run. If you are doing a scan show and you don't have items pre-listed, make sure you've got the price pinned, and then I want you to talk about that item. And if you've touched that, if you pick up an item when you're doing a random show, if you pick up that item, someone asks you, hey, my daughter made these socks. Look how cool these socks are. My daughter made socks. So say I was going to sell these socks, which I'm not because they're precious to me. But say I opened up these socks. Oh, I picked up these socks from the random. Someone asked me, can you show me these socks? I show you the socks. I tell you how much the price is going to be. I know, look, there's like egg on the bottom. She did this herself. You're going to pin. So Seda, pin is when you go to your store. No, not even for 1,000. If you go to your store, for example, let me pin something else. No, I can't do it on this stupid phone. We're gonna pretend that I'm pinning right now. 3 seconds there. So pin is where not exactly what I did here. You've only had one show. That's good. Good for you. So I know they're super warm too. I have to hand wash them, but that's okay. They're precious. So I would pin them, and then I would say I'd pin that. Okay, this is a random item, and I would talk about it, and then I run it, touch and run. But it's make sure you pin it so people can see what the price is. Fragile OG is going to be doing their first show today. Tell us what time. So you're going to pin it, you're going to talk about it, and you're going to run it. If you touch it, 12 after 12 sometime. So 12:15 p.m. That's awesome. So yeah, so as 13 with ADHD says, running items too fast deters people from bidding. People will bid more if they know more information like size, measurement, showing all the angles. Yeah, you don't just hold it up. You go, so for example, oh dear, this has got a chip out of it. So for example, I would hold this, snap, yeah, hold and make sure that if you touch it, you run it. Even if someone says it's okay, pass. So say someone asks you to show them this toy. We're going to pretend this is a Star Wars figure. And I say, this Star Wars figure is going to be $20. And the person says pass. You don't just put it down. Unless that's, even if it's the only person in the room. Even if it's you and that one person who asked for the Star Wars figure, as he dances. I don't want you to, you're still going to run the dang thing. Still hit start auction and run it. Okay? Yeah. It's a very rare Star Wars piece. But make sure you're going to show it. You're going to go whoop, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 sides to every item. So for example, this one, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, look, there's a chip. Make sure you point that out. 5, 6. 6 sides. Make sure you're showing all the sides. And then you're going to run it. Even if the person said pass, just say, okay, no problem. I'm just going to run this for 10 seconds or 15 seconds. See if anybody else is interested. You will be surprised at how many people are actually interested, but are not going to say a word. They are not going to say a word, but they're all of a sudden going to be like, oh, it's running. I'm going to get that. That other person didn't want it, but I do. So never ever just go, oh, okay, you don't want this for $20, no problem, and put it down. Run it anyways. Say, yeah, no problem. I'm just going to run it anyways. Sometimes that person who said no pass will actually buy the dang thing because they changed their mind at the last minute because then they suddenly realize someone else might get it. You just need to run it. Sia says it's true. My first show, someone said run everything because there's people who don't chat but buy. Yes. 80% of the people in a chat will never say a single word. There's 44 people here supposedly right now. 44 people. I'm guarantee you 20% at the most are going to talk. They're going to talk more in a chat show than they are in a regular show. So never feel like if the chat's not chatty that you're somehow failing, because it's totally normal. And I'm going to try and get to questions after I finish this up. I will go back and sign in and whatnot and on my phone. And I get patient if people only scan. Yeah. So So always, what were those three things you said to do? Pin the item, talk about the item, then run the item. So if you touch it, you run it. So pin so that people can see the price and shipping, and then talk about it and then run it. So if, for example, you're doing random pulls. So let me see if I can pull in one of my randoms. Import from inventory. Do I have an EC or anything still? ECK. Let's see. Inactive. Return. No. Okay. Let's just say pull. Return. No. Oh my God. I have way too much stuff. Jewelry. Sorry, everyone. I will find one eventually. That's a random. There we go. Import. So, for example, this one, which is from the, I can't pin on my iPhone, so you're just going to have to pretend that I'm pinning it. So this one, it's $3 is the standard that I put. So say you're going to hold something up and you're going to say this brooch, this really fancy brooch is only going, I'm actually not going to start at $3. I'm going to start at $20, but they can still see, even if it says $3 down there that you've pinned it, you could say I'm going to start this at $20, because when I go to hit start auction, that's when I can hit it and say $20. Don't buy this, please. All right. And I have to turn it to sudden death because I can't. There. So, and yes, and as Searching with ADHD says, the more you run the items, your more the show gets boosted in the app. So whenever you do an action on Whatnot, whenever there is any interaction on Whatnot, so if you pin an item, if you run an item, if you run a flash sale, if somebody bids, all of those things are a signal to Whatnot that this show is an active show and that it should be promoted more. So the more you can pin and then talk and then run, even if you unpin and then repin again, it's a little bit of work. It's an added little bit of work, but it does make a difference. I looked into what for their algorithm. Where do I find the techie details? They don't give you the full techie details, and I will try to get to everybody's question after I finish this. I'm not that far off from the end of this talk. So there are not a lot of details. They don't, because they change the algorithm constantly. They don't have like a secret sauce. Estate Addicts on my iPhone is an older iPhone. It's not as big as the newer fancy iPhones, and it doesn't allow me to pin. It's actually cut off. I don't know why. I can do it, but on my particular iPhone. So on other iPhones, you should be fine if you have a newer iPhone. But I'm a cheapskate, and I like to buy refurbished phones. Someone already asked, what is pinning? Yeah, so pinning is where you go and it's called pin. You go to your store and you pick that item and you pin it first. EastEnder Resales, thank you for the tip. You are awesome. I love you. Everyone, please follow EastEnder Resales. So let's talk. Okay, we talked about slower pacing for auctions. Add a value sentence before you start the bidding. Add some more seconds to the bidding. So even though this is going to take you a little bit more time, I would say 15 seconds is your minimum during January, because you want to give people a little bit more time to think. And sometimes if you think, you know what, I ran for 15 seconds, but I feel like, I'm going to run it again. Sometimes you just get that spidey sense that tells you that really should have sold. Run it again, because you'll be surprised how many people just didn't get to their phone in time. They're listening in the background. They've got it on in the background while they're doing other things. So, Lexi, I'm going to mod you just in case you need to even though I can't even sort. It's so dumb. Anyway, sorry. I will carry on. Okay. So, that is auctions. We did auctions. All right. So, make sure that you do a slower pacing, add one value sentence before bidding, and frame auctions as wins, not pressure. Okay? Lower the pressure volume. I found that the new iPhones have a zoom feature. I have an S7 and it doesn't. So there is a zoom feature that you can set up through seller tools. Go to help.whatnot.com and search for seller tools. Okay, flash sales. Another tool on Whatnot. The flash sales are great. They're urgency without chaos. They're great for intentional buyers who still want a deal. So put some great stuff in your buy it now and then run some flash sales. Make sure that when you set up flash sales that you turn on that it can be purchased for full price outside of the flash sale. Otherwise, people who come into your store have got to wait for you to run a flash sale and they're not going to ask you to do that. So make sure that you have it so they can buy it at full price if they want to, or they can wait for the flash sale and then run the flash sale. For example, let me run a flash sale right now. I go to my buy it now. I'm going to pin this product. I can pin these things. I'm going to pin this and I'm going to run as a flash sale, 25% off. Now, 30 seconds is the default that Whatnot puts on things. Again, we're giving people more time, urgency without the chaos. We're going to give people more time to make a decision. So I'm going to make it 5 minutes instead. And now we start the flash sale. So, giving a flash sale is an opportunity for people to think about getting a great deal on something. This is great for clearing out some of your items too. If you want to be able to give a discount without making it seem like your entire store is on sale, although you can do that if you want to. Yeah. So if you go to show notes, if everyone that's new goes to show notes, scroll all the way down to the line of fire and take a screenshot of that. That is all the Whatnot resources. So help.whatnot.com, go to seller.whatnot.com to sign in and do things that you need to do, like set up coupons, seller academy at whatnot.com, and then also blog at teamwhatnot.com is another great resource. So flash sales are great for intentional buyers who still want a deal. Make sure that you announce the flash sales in advance. So again, pin the item and then run the flash sale. Remember that you can run multiple flash sales at the same time. So I've got that flash sale running. Let's get rid of Santa's key. We're gonna oops, I just ran it as auction. So I'm gonna run it as an auction instead of my buy it now for $2 for 20 seconds. So I can run an auction while I'm running a buy it now. While I'm running a flash sale, and I promise I will get to your questions at the end of this. So please hang on. I apologize. So I can run that, and then while that is running, I can still do another. As soon as that's finished, I can run another flash. I'm going to run a flash sale on this one. Why isn't it letting me? It should let me. Options, feature and show. I don't know why it's not letting me. Oh God. Whatnot be glitching? Whatnot's not letting me pin and run his flash sale. See, it's letting me run his flash sale on this one. That's weird. All right, so I can just run tons of flash sales if I want to. Let's see, what else can I run as a flash sale? Pin, run his flash sale. 2 hours, an hour and 30 minutes. Oh yeah, that sounds like fun. I'm not going to be on for that long. And I will get to your questions. Okay, so you can run flash sales. Tie them to themes. So if you're going to do Valentine picks or collector boosts, or you're going to do a reset, so like, hobbies, or reset your life, or refresh your wardrobe, use them as events and not panic buttons. So I recommend longer times, maybe not an hour and a half like I just did for this one, but 5 minutes instead of 30 seconds. Now, That's flash sales. So we've done auctions, flash sales. Now we're going to talk about buy it now. This is really great for gifts, for those Valentine gifts, for those bundles. If you're putting together, whether it's craft hobby bundles or you're putting together an entire wardrobe bundle. This is also great for buyers who hate bidding pressure. Not everybody likes an auction. A lot of people like just to be able to look, buy, and that's the price, and that, you get what you pay for, right? Pre-build your bundles, clearly label the purpose. So a starter set, gift ready, Valentine's gift. Make sure you use that title in the descriptions. Use your buy it now for confidence-based buyers. Can you run flash sales when you're not on Whatnot running an auction? No. If you're not live, your flash sale ends. So as soon as I'm done here, this flash sale should end, because I'm going to end before that flash sale ends. Definitely. I'm not going on for another hour and a half. Marketplace. That's your other place. Whatnot has so many ways for you to sell. It's amazing. So Marketplace captures search-driven buyers, captures them while you're offline. You don't have to be live in order to make a sale. This is where you want to take your best sellers, your high collectible items, the things that you know that people are looking for and searching for. Those are the things you want to put in your marketplace so they're available in your store, on your Whatnot profile, as well as available when you run a show. Use clear titles and categories. Make sure you put as many pictures as possible. 2 pictures is not enough. Use all the pictures up. If you can, use a video. If it's something that talks or walks or moves in some way, you want to do a video. Say you've got a really cool skirt and you want to show off how when you spin, that spinny thing that we do with our skirts, the wee, look how it goes out. Take a little video and put that up. You can actually put little clips, video clips into your item. And treat it as passive January income. All right, I'm almost done, I promise. And then I will get to all the questions. Coupons and rewards club. Accurate, simple, loyalty driven. Sellers, you get to set the achievements. Buyers unlock the rewards. It encourages repeat behavior, not impulse buying, but it rewards your loyal customers. So if you do have the ability to use more, I don't know if they're going to allow more pictures, but yeah. Lexi says, I love rewards club, made mine really good discounts. Yeah, if you make them too good, you'll feel it. But good news is it's only per quarter. So there's 4 seasons. So if you make a mistake and over offer, the next season you can calm it down a little bit. Yeah. I made one of my seasons like really good, and I looked at it, I'm like, oh, that was way too good. So I calmed it down. I've calmed it down for this season, and I'm going to see if, I got to find a middle ground. And that's the really good thing about rewards club, is that you can adjust quarter by quarter. So reward your return buyers. If you don't have rewards club yet, reward your return buyers by offering them a coupon. Put a coupon in your shipment. Even if you have rewards club, put a coupon in the shipment. I used to put a coupon in every single shipment. Now, most of the time people weren't using them, so I stopped doing that and just stuck with rewards club, but coupons are awesome. So do use coupons. Use coupons to encourage that next purchase. You can even have multiple coupons in your show so that you can encourage people to make like 2, 3, 4 purchases, right? Just say like, hey, I've got the first, use the code first, put that in your wallet, use the code first, and that'll give you 15% off your first purchase. Then after you've made your first purchase, put second into your wallet, and that'll give you another 15% off your second purchase, etc., etc. You can do all that kind of stuff. You can do those kind of discounts. Not everybody is going to go through the effort of doing that. In your show notes, make sure you put the coupons as well. If you use the code / in your show notes, you can't do it. It's / coupon and then the coupon name in your show notes. If you do that, / coupon and then the coupon name in your show notes, it will be clickable. So people can just click on that and it will automatically add it to their wallet. You can only add 1 coupon to your wallet at a time, but it is worth doing if you're a buyer. Always look in the show notes to see if somebody's got a coupon in there, because sometimes you'll be able to get some really good deal. Yes, thank you, Thrifting with ADHD. Okay, so make sure that you mention early and not just when you're running an item, just don't mention it then and mention it beforehand. Don't forget, oh, you got coupons. Check out the show notes before I run this item so that you can get your discount. Repeat that often. Not like every single time you sell something, but every few times you sell something, before you hit that run button, make sure to mention, oh, don't forget to check out the show notes and click to get that coupon, because you're going to be able to get a discount on this next awesome item that's coming up. Look at this item. Check it out. Let me just pin it right now. I pin the item. I talk about the item. That gives them time to go to the show notes and click on it. Give people time. Too much pressure and people will start to panic. And because right now, as the psychology of buyers is, most buyers is to look for value added, they are not going to, good morning, they are not going to be wanting to be pressured. So lower the pressure. Okay. I'm going to give you some January specific tactics that don't get talked up about enough, especially on Whatnot. Think about these as quiet advantages that you can use when the platform feels calmer. I'm going to keep this practical and action oriented and not motivational fluff. I couldn't find practice, only rehearse. That's your practice. Your practice, Auntie Jane, is your rehearse. Or you could do a private show. So first and foremost, sell confidence, not just products. Okay. January buyers hesitate more, not because they don't want to buy, but because they want reassurance. So, what to do and what not. Here, let's talk about it. I'm going to try and go fast. Say outcomes out loud. Instead of, here's the item, say, this is the kind of piece you won't regret buying. This is a safe, smart January purchase. This is a great item for you to resell later. This is an easy thing to gift. This is something that's going to look perfect in your home and is going to be so practical. This is going to help you get organized. This is going to help you start that hobby you want to start. This is an easy decision. You want to make them feel like this is something that is going to improve their life and be value driven. We'll definitely talk about that, Blooming Dames. I will get to all the questions in a second. Why it works, not second, more than a second. January buyers want to avoid buyer's remorse. This live should be saved. Yes, this live, it should be on YouTube. Fingers crossed it actually worked this time, but it should be on my YouTube and my Twitch. Sometimes my Twitch works better. If it's super unique, I mentioned it would be a statement piece. Yes, 5 acres, exactly. Like this is an awesome statement piece that will be something that you'll use constantly for the next 10 years, 20 years, forever. The rest of your life, this is going to be a statement piece you're going to keep with you. Now, interestingly enough, shorter, more focused shows often perform better in January. Long marathon shows can actually underperform in January unless you already have heavy momentum. If you're a big seller, then you've got the heavy momentum. But try instead to do not all of your shows. If you're used to doing long marathon shows, carry on, but try to pepper in some 60 to 90 minute focus shows. Over 60 minutes is ideal. Try one theme, focus on one buyer type, do one clear advantage. So a collector reset hour, a wardrobe refresh hour, $10 to $25 smart buys, Valentine picks in 75 minutes. January buyers appreciate respect for their time. Okay, and then optimize your chat for comfort, not hype. So we're talking about building your community and focusing on your community and building those friendships and that feeling of belonging. That's what you're going to try and do in January. So that's why you're going to do slower pacing. December rewarded chaos and energy because that's the kind of energy that happens in December with holiday shopping. January rewards psychological safety. Make people feel comfortable in your shows, make people feel welcomed, slower the pace a little bit, fewer forced countdowns. So again, like your flash sales should be for longer periods of time. Increase the time that people can bid on an item. So go from 10 seconds to 15 seconds or even 30 seconds if you feel comfortable with that. I can't do 30 seconds. It feels really awkward for me. 15 seconds is this is my happy place. You're going to find your happy place. It might even be 5 minutes. Whatever your happy place is, you find that. Do more acknowledgments of chat messages. Auntie Jane says, I absolutely cannot watch chat while streaming. You'll have to eat if you have somebody that can help you out, that would be great. It's important to, it really does help to build your community if you're able to check in with chat. Also, because you get a lot of questions that get asked. So yeah, absolute flipping deals relies on mods. So if you can have someone to help moderate, then you can just focus on those moderator questions. You can actually filter the chat by questions, and you can just say, I apologize, I'm only able to focus on the questions right now. And Angie says, and that says, my mods help if I miss items. Your moderators are going to be so helpful with this. So also, less go, go, go. Let's go, chat. Come on, let's bid. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That works in some shows, but in most shows, it's not going to work. So say things like, take your time, no pressure. I'll run this again. Again, like if you run it for 15 seconds and nobody bid on it, but you feel in your soul that this should have been purchased, run it again. Every once in a while, run the item again. If you just feel like it should have sold, try again. Just say, I'm not sure if that rent, let me just run it again. I'm going to run it again just in case anybody has changed their mind and wants it. So it will seem counterintuitive to slow down a little bit in order to increase your sales, but in this particular time when buyers are psychologically thinking more and making more careful decisions, this is often going to increase your conversion from viewer into buyer. Okay. And price anchoring. I'm going to talk about price anchoring really quickly. So January buyers do a lot of comparison shopping, even if they don't tell you that. So you're going to do price anchoring as much as you can. Now, don't bullshit price anchoring. This needs to be reality based, not, in your head, this is worth $200 type thing. This has to be reality based. Jude's Closet, thank you for the tip. You are awesome. So verbally anchor value. This is like more than $30 every day of the week on eBay. I'm going to start at just 10. I'm selling this. It's used, but you know what? This is if you buy this new, this is going to be $40, but you buy this now, it's going to work in your home forever. It's going to dance forever in your home. I'm going to sell this for just $5 today. It's just as good as the new. This is cheaper than trying to source it yourself. Use visible price bands. So, for example, price bands are really helpful. Hang on. I lost my page section. Price bands are really helpful. So, everything tonight is going to be between $15 and $40. Price bands really help people to focus and be like, "Oh, I get it. I can live within those numbers." No surprises shows. Reduce uncertainty, and you're going to increase your buyer confidence. Yeah, keep it simple, stupid. Kiss. Keep it simple. Keep it simple is your main aim. You want to make it as simple as possible. So, okay, so run clean slate inventory shows. But January is when buyers mentally reset. You should too. So fresh start show, no holiday leftovers, fresh start stuff. Clean slate bin. Put intentional curated, not clearance items in your buy it now. By the clean slate, put stuff into your buy it now. How about do a show where you just show only items that you'd buy for yourself? Like, these are my favorite things. I'm going to sell my favorite things today. These are the things that I love the most. These are the things I buy for myself. If you've got people that are part of your community, they're going to be like, I like those things too. I'm going to buy the things that are Kim's favorite or Melody's favorite or Lexi's favorite. This works really well in vintage, collectibles, fashion, and home items. Buyers trust sellers when the inventory feels intentional. So themes are going to be your friend during this time too. Teach while you sell, even if it's briefly. Education performs better in January than December. People want to know more about what they're buying. So adding a 30-second or 20-second or 10-second why this matters to each item. Explain the differences between similar items. So if I'm doing vintage decor and I'm showing a Blue Mountain pottery piece and an Evangeline pottery piece, I'm going to tell you the difference between the two and why Blue Mountain's worth more than Evangeline. But let me show you. Like, I'm going to literally show you the quality. I'm going to show you things so that you can see why this matters and you get educated on the difference between the quality. Share one insider tip per category. So in fashion, share a fashion tip during your show. Show how to use a belt, have some accessories, and add those to what you're selling to show how does this work? How do I add this to finish off and make a piece look more sophisticated, and make an outfit look more sophisticated. Okay, hey, leave it alone. It's just a neighbor. Okay, hey, come here. Come get your Trump. Where's Trump? Go find Trump. Oh, Maddie has a toy. Okay. Build momentum. So inside the month, not across the year. So January isn't about reaching your annual goals. It's about restarting your rhythm. So pick one metric that you're going to try and improve this month. Don't try and improve everything. So are you going to try and increase the number of new buyers you have? Are you going to increase the number of return buyers you have? Are you going to increase the number of items you sell per show? And say it out loud. Say, my goal this month is consistency, not perfection. I'm going to try to be more consistent this month. Buyers respond to grounded sellers. So let people know about what your goals are. They will often help you reach your goal. So if you say, my goal is every show to try and sell to 7 different buyers, and say, I'm almost there. I've almost reached my goal. I've got 6 people that have bought from me so far. This is so exciting. Thank you guys so much. I'm almost at my goal. You will be surprised. Somebody's going to buy something from you just to help you reach your goal. And then you're going to be like, oh my God, I've made it to 7. Oh, it would be so amazing if I could make it to 10, because that's like next week's goal. But if I could make next week's goal, say the goal. People will help you out. I bought in shows from people who said I need 5 different, I need X number of buyers in order to get my $150 bonus, and I will buy to try and help that happen. I will help support other buyers when they tell me what their goal is and why they've got that goal. How many times have I bought from the hodgepodge place because her goal was to like make enough money to pay for the latest flood in her basement, or a car, her car repair or whatever. It makes you feel connected. All right. And then use January to train your buyers. What do I mean by that? This is super subtle and powerful, but train buyers to come back by pushing Rewards Club, not like constantly, but saying to people, yeah, I've got Rewards Club. Every time you buy, you get more discounts, you get more opportunity. Thank you so much. You're being part of Rewards Club and getting that egg. You've got coupons now. Go check out your coupons up above and redeem them. Train buyers to buy in bundles. So if you start doing bundling, keep it going throughout the year. If it's working for you in your category, keep doing bundles so that people know they can come to you and buy a whole outfit or a whole new kit for crocheting something. Yes, not all sellers will reach Rewards Club right away. And if you're not eligible for Rewards Club as a seller, you can still offer coupons. Curating your shows and having more curated shows, especially in your Buy It Now, curate more things. This is do as I say, not as I do. People will come back because they trust your curation. They trust that they know, for example, if I go into East Ender resales, I know what kind of clothes I'm going to find in her Buy It Now. And I know I'm going to find something I'm going to love because I know her curation, and I know her stuff. I've been trained to trust her curation, and also understand your pacing. You're going to slow down your pacing a little bit during January. You may pick it up later on, but you may find that you enjoy this new pacing. So January is a time to help your buyers form good habits with you. Also, don't compete on volume during this month. Compete on clarity. You don't need to have more items or sell for more hours or have more chaos in order to sell. You need clear themes, clear pricing, clear buyer intent, and clear value expressed about the item. You want to reduce the friction for buyers. So make it easier for buyers to understand why they want to buy that thing. Reduce the friction, reduce their need to analyze and think by giving them that information heads up. It is harder to do curated if you do storage lockers. You're absolutely right, Angie. It's not everybody will be able to do curated, but you can curate your Buy It Now. You stuff that didn't sell when you did a storage locker show, but is good value stuff, put in your buy it now. Put it in that bin, take it home, list it under buy it now. January isn't when you should be chasing sales. It's when you build the kind of selling habits that make January, February, March, April, etc. easier. That mindset shift of yourself helps sellers to stop self-sabotaging in January. There's not a slump in January. There's a change in the psychology of your buyers. So I've got an action list for you. I want you to, in January, I want you to choose 2 selling formats that you don't normally use and try them out, whether that's flash sales or buy it now or your marketplace. Build 2 to 3 intentional bundles and see how that does. Add 1 Valentine focused element to your shows. Did I get muted again? Son of a nutcracker. Turn on the mic. Am I muted or am I okay? Okay, good. Thank you. All right. Decide how you'll reward your return buyers. Are you going to add some coupons to the shipment? Are you going to start your rewards club? Are you going to remind them about rewards club? Maybe even write a little note or add something to their shipment that says, just a reminder, thanks again, you're part of my rewards club. Don't forget to, next time you're in my show, to go up to that crown and add your coupons in. Yes, that's awesome. Angie says, I'm loading all my non-sold in my buy it now, and I have sold several items over the last 2 shows. People have seen it in one live and then thinking and then buy. Exactly. Yeah. You may not sell on the first show or the 10th show, but it's going to sell. So here's my closing, and then I'm going to sign on to my laptop so that I can read all the questions. I apologize. I'm going to try and catch up. If January feels messy, that's exactly why I created my 4-week cycle goal planner, which if you go to my show notes, you'll see the link so that you can, or it's also in my bio. There's a link where you can go and download for free the 4-week cycle goal planner. It helps you focus on progress that you can actually control, 1 cycle at a time, just 4 weeks at a time. So you're building your whatnot business without burning out. So I'm actually discouraging annual goals. I'm suggesting you do 4-week cycle goals on whatnot. Also, because things change so quickly. Okay, that is it for me. I highly suggest that if you want more information, you go to help.whatnot.com. Especially to learn about Megan's by Marika says, I'm using your 4-week cycle goals. Yay! Go to help.whatnot.com to learn about rewards club and how to do flash sales and how to use live selling tools, etc. All right, let me sign in to seller.whatnot.com and go to my show. Make sure I'm muted because there's nothing more awkward than that. Make sure your second device is always muted. It's just taking its sweet time opening up, and then I will be able to go to the chat. All right, yes, I know there's tariffs. All right. Questions, and then I need to increase. I'm going to show you how small this is. Hang on. No, can I see? Can I show you? I don't know if I can show you. I don't know if it's going to let me show you how small this is. Look how small that is. I mean, it looks better for you, but yes, I'm going to answer all the questions. Hang on 1 second. All right, hang on. Flip back. Flip. It is yeah. All right, I gotta increase plus. Okay. Oops. That's a little bit too much, Kim. All right. I think I did it now. Holy cow. I wish I could just focus on this one section. I wonder if I can do that by going like this. Yes. No, I cannot. Son of a nutcracker. All right, fine. Fine, whatnot. Okay. It's only showing me certain questions, so I'm going to have to go back up. All right. Let's see. It's not showing me everything. So Angel Cat 41 asks, Angel Cat 41 asks, don't you have to reach a certain level to do rewards? So yes, the answer is you do need to have your, you need to sell a certain amount, which is like $1,000 in sales, a certain number of shows. There's a tiny arrow in that chat window enlarges. Ooh, oh, I see it. Oh my God, I love you. Thank you. That makes so much more sense. It's taking forever though. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Magnus by Marika. Um, let's see. I'm going to show you what she managed to show me. So hang on. We're going to move this over. So right here, see, I learn something every day. Right here, there's this little arrow, and then that brings up this so I can see the chat better. Woohoo! Okay. That makes my life easier. Thank you. Scrolling back down, scrolling down. Okay. So if I've missed your question, I apologize. You're going to have to rewrite it because it's not showing up on my little tiny screen. I'm going to scroll up on here, see if I can see it. Oh, I can see more on this screen than I can on that screen, but it's all like it's this big. All right. All right. Scrolling. I'm going to scroll up 2 more scrolls and then I'm going to stop. All right. Seda was asking Melody about the fill-a-bag deal. I assume that you answered that. Blooming Dame says, I've never tried bundles, but the platform, but the problem for this platform is the low prices. We do new with tags, high boutique, and handmade clothing and accessories. Yeah, so Blooming Dames, do not try and do a race to the bottom. It's a recipe for success, for failure on Whatnot. If your items are worth a certain amount of money, then sell them at that price. You will build. It takes time to build an audience on Whatnot, but you will build a buyer base that is looking for that kind of high quality. Don't lower your prices in order to try and appeal to a market. Your market is boutique. And so think of Whatnot as like a main street where there's or high street where there's all the shops, or a mall where there's all kinds of different shops that appeal to different buyers. And so, for example, on a main street, you might have like a Woolworths, and then a boutique store selling shoes and accessories, and then you have another store that's higher end clothing. You are that higher end clothing store. You're not trying to get the people going into Woolworths. That's not your folks. Your folks are the people who are looking for boutique. So think of it that way. Whatnot is, you're not trying to be Pokemon catch them all. You're trying to catch the people that are right for your store. So think of it like that, like a downtown Main Street or a mall. Your store is a certain vibe, and a certain person will come in. Not everybody. It's, if you want to be all things to everybody, even $2 starts are not going to be all things to everybody, because the person who likes to do boutique shopping doesn't want to go into a $2 show. And especially since you're doing handmade clothing and accessories, stay being boutique, including in your pricing. Have times where you can use Rewards Club to offer discounts, and you can do a lot of things. All right, I am scrolling. Megahertz says, I heard something interesting. You want to hear it? You're the best. Oh, you're so sweet. I love you. Okay, I think we answered that. Can I give you $1,000 for them? No. Oh wait. I've scrolled way too far. Okay, hang on. I'm going to scroll down a bit, see if I can catch up. How many people do you need in a room for that to work? PB&J trading, in just about anything that you're doing on Whatnot, you just need 2 people in a room to bid against each other. You just need one person to purchase. Okay, I'm going to scroll a bit, so if I miss something, I apologize. I'm trying to catch up to everything. PB&J Trading asks, is there any benefit to paying to promote? To be honest, as a Canadian seller, my recommendation to you is to not currently use promote tools. I like promote tools. I think promote tools are great. Before de minimis was removed, and we had more US buyers, and we didn't have that big warning sign come up, then yeah, promote tools were worth it. I found when I used promote tools, it wasn't translating into enough new Canadians coming into the room, because those are the people that were sticking around to buy. everyone else was flipping in, and they were getting that warning, and they were just flipping out. So I don't recommend at this time using promote tools. I think that if you are trying to get into the US market though, then yes. Isabella BC, sorry, I missed that. The more you run items, yes, okay. Scrolling, sorry. What do you say to the people, to the crowd, the people I'm pushing so hard, that say the crowd isn't just there for the Canadian side? Lexi, you've got that is something I hear all the time, especially on Facebook. There's one particular person who likes to go negative Nelly and say, "Oh, there's no, I tried whatnot and it didn't work because there's no buyers." Well, that's not true anymore. There are tons of buyers. There are tons of viewers. Again, you've got to think that you're trying to find your people, and everybody's vibe is different. And so the most important thing is to remain as consistent as possible to try and so that people know that when, if they come in on Sunday morning, they're going to find you, or they, on Friday evening, that's when I'm going to go check out Lexi. Whenever your show is scheduled, if you can continue that consistency, this is a do as I say, not as I do thing. But the consistency is really key to building an audience. Remember, this is shoppertainment. So this is like QVC on steroids. So you want to be as entertaining as possible. Add that educational element that always helps to keep people coming back, because they're going to learn something. And then they learn something about it, whether it's, you give a little history. If you're doing fashion, why not give a little history? If you're selling something that's designer, or, even if it's like a guess thing that's not designer, but you're selling something that's guests or free people. Like, I don't know enough about all of these different clothing manufacturers and brands. I would love to go into a show that like told me a little bit more about the brand itself too, right? Like, this one's ethical, this one only uses like they always they've been from the very beginning, they've been against sweatshops, etc., etc. You can add something to all of them that adds some value and interest to it. East Under Resales has a show this afternoon. Ladies Wear. Everybody stop in. I know you go to the store, so does it mean you just choose and it pops up? So yeah, so I think I showed you. How to pin. I found the new iPhones have a zoom feature that has, okay, so you can actually, for the zoom feature, on Android and iPhone, there's the pinch. You can pinch and zoom. So hang on. I can zoom. Oh God, don't do that again, Kim. I can pinch and zoom. Or there's also in the seller tools, there is a zoom on many iPhones. But you have to turn on live seller tools first in order to get that. Thank you, Shiny Things. Okay, so I'm trying to catch up here. I am not doing a good job of catching up. There's a lot of chat. I did talk for a lot. When you run flash sales, can you run flash sales when you're not on whatnot? Yeah, I answered that. Okay. How do you stop people from buying items in your store when you have them reserved for your auction? So, Mia Vita, you make sure that you don't, if you want them to only run as an auction, then you add that item just to auction. So when you're adding an item, don't put it in buy it now. I know a lot of people in fashion will put stuff in their buy it now first, and then they will run it as an auction during their show, which is okay. But that means that someone could buy it. So if you say you start something at $4, all your stuff, you're going to start at $4, but really it's a $25 item, and you're just hoping the people bid up. If you put it at $4 and you buy it now, someone could buy it from your buy it now. So make sure you list it as an auction item, not a buy it now item. Or put it in your buy it now item at $25, and then when you are running your show, you can go to your store and hit run as auction, tap on the item and hit run as auction, and then you can put it at $4 or $5 or $10. And Lexi, I'm not sure if I answered your question or not. And IBC shop, I don't know if Whatnot is planning on allowing more pictures of items. I think that'll take time before they do that. The practice, Auntie Jane, if you go to selleracademy.whatnot.com, you can find out about the difference between rehearsal and practice. I didn't really like rehearsal either, but it did give you a chance. It does give you a chance to kind of practice running an auction and that sort of thing. It's a little bit more simplified, but practice, you can actually do the whole 9 yards. You can do the whole thing. Magnus by Marika says, I find the coupon thing clickable with iPhone, but not on my Samsung phone. Yeah, it doesn't work on all Android devices, but it works on a significant portion of devices out there. So that's why they do it. Okay, Fragile is doing getting ready for my 12:15 show. Hope to see everyone there. Great vintage items starting at $5. Fragile OG, that's great. Okay, so I'm just going to go back to here because I apologize. I'm going to scroll back to questions and see what we got. Angie's this and that says, love this app and the people, so many helping others. No other place you can get this. We're not competition, we're a team. Exactly. If you start to think of your fellow sellers as competition, you're not getting that opportunity to build the community that you need to on Whatnot. Whatnot is successful when you are successful on Whatnot, I should say, when you are working with other sellers. And collaborating. So if you see a raid train opportunity, join it. There are all kinds of really cool raid trains. Vintiquity is running a really interesting raid train coming up that is all the top, I think it's the top 5 jewelry sellers. Like she's picked her favorite jewelry sellers on vintage and antique jewelry sellers on Whatnot Canada and doing a special raid train. So exciting. So exciting. Yes, Angie's and that has a raid train in January. It is the family fashion and accessories raid train. Message Angie's this and that to get a link. Or you can go to the show notes and we have an unofficial Whatnot Canada Discord. Everybody is welcome from around the world. You can go to the raid train discussion and the link to sign up is there. And Andrew will probably, after this show, nudge, nudge, wink, wink, put the link in so that people can sign up. It's the 3rd Sunday of every month, and it's family fashion. So it's all genders, all ages, even pets and accessories. If it's fashion, jewelry, anything that's fashion related, you can sell and Whatnot. You cannot get onto the Discord. Oh, you should be able to. Okay, try again, because you can run it off. You don't have to download the app in order to join our Discord. And if you don't know what Discord is, it is a like discussion group. It's like a bulletin board. So there's different topics. So there's different channels where you can discuss different things. So like the jewelry folks have had some really interesting discussions about jewelry. Or if you see something in the wild and you want to get some advice on it, you can take a picture and put it in, say like, I'm trying to list this, but I'm not sure, is this opal or is it not? Guaranteed Mimics is going to help you. Jude's Closet is having a blazer themed show. I'm going to move this over so I can see better. A Blazers themed show at 1:15 p.m. today. Starting bid is $6. That is great. You were on it. Kids messed the phone up. Kids! Ethan, tell Ethan to fix it for you. I'm currently living the dream says I'm currently trying to collect Princess House crystal animals. Princess House crystal animals. Now I need to know what that is. Princess House crystal. Ew. Okay, what happened there? I can type honestly. Animals. Boop. Okay. Oh, they're kind of like Swarovski crystal. They're really cute. Look at this one. Not that I'm suggesting you go to this website, but oh, I wonder if Whatnot has any. Crystal House. No, wait. No, it wasn't Crystal House. It was Princess House Crystal. Now I'm looking. products. Sorry, I should show you what I'm looking at. Ooh, Princess House Crystal salt and pepper shakers. No, we need animal. Okay, so then we're gonna filter, sort by, shipped from. So check this out. Shipped from Canada. And it's only going to show us Princess House in Canada. Selling in Canada. Maple Mama Finds. A Buried Treasure. Oh, that's cute. Mimics. That's not what we're looking for. There's only one person that has something. All right, I'm going to have to keep my eye out for Princess House stuff for you, living the dream. You're kid free today. Sassy Mandu says, is the market kind of on the slow side lately, December post Christmas on whatnot? So, Sassy Mandu, that's the theme of this entire show is that, no, it is that buyers are changing their psychology. And hopefully, let me just check right now on YouTube. Hopefully I am on, it is going to be on YouTube. Come on. I'm not used to using this laptop. Hopefully this is going to be available to view on YouTube later. I'm just going to check right now. I'm going to go to the Red Rooster Shop. The Red Rooster Shop. There it is. Subscriptions. Subscriptions to me. And oh my gosh, it's live. So you'll be able to rewatch this I'm live right now on YouTube. You'll be able to rewatch this whole thing. I've talked about all the different ways that you can reset in order to match the buyer psychology. Yes, we'll send link in direct message. People are interested in the train. You have something like that, small recipes, tiny candle holders. Melody, yes, Melody and I are going to be hosting a Whatnot show Friday mornings called Fashion Fridays. Our first guest is going to be Selected Threads on February 2nd or January 2nd. Isn't it January 2nd? Is it January 2nd or February 2nd? Are we waiting that long? Blooming Dame says 95% of our sales so far on Whatnot have been from the States. Yep. Are there really many Canadians using this app? Also, how has the tariffs affect sales in Canada? Good question. So, yes, in the past, a lot of Canadian sellers had mostly US buyers. My recommendation is that you chat with someone like the Crazy Bead Lady because you are in boutique category. The Crazy Bead Lady is a great resource. She also was mainly US buyers. And so when de minimis was eliminated, what she did was she shifted her focus to offering coupons and other value added items in order to get her US buyers to still buy. You will find that the people who are, especially in your category, where people, and like Crazy Bead Lady who does these custom brooches, the statement brooches, people are willing to pay tariffs, taxes, duties, customs fees for those items because they understand the value. So again, it's value added that you're selling. So your US buyers, not all of them will come back. But again, it's about educating them on and if you look, I think I have it in my, let's see, import from inventory, US buyers, no, US, turn, there we go. So I have this that I put in my, I have to start auction. I have this that I put in all of my sales shows when I'm selling stuff. This is what I put in all my selling shows. So to warn them and explain to them. And it's also in my show notes. If you read my show notes, I also have it in my show notes. So what you need to do in order to get your US buyers to come back is understand that they're uncertain about this. This is brand new to them since 1932. 38, anyways, since the 1930s, de minimis exemption was part of importing. And they are used to not paying taxes and duties. They're not used to having a bill handed to them. Canadians are totally used to buying things from the United States and paying something, right? So it's a matter of teaching your buyers about the fact that they are going to pay a little bit, but in the end it's going to be worth it. Oh, I lost my little thing. There we go. So it just disappeared on me. There we go. So I would say to you that that some of your buyers will come back, but not all of them. I'm thinking when I come back to give some coupons to make up a bit for the tariffs. Yes, and that's Blooming Dames. That's exactly what the Crazy Bead Lady did. So I would suggest chatting with the Crazy Bead Lady and learning from her. She tried a bunch of different things, and she found that offering the coupons and saying, like, I understand, like, that you're going to have to pay a little bit. So here's a $10 coupon. She is selling items that are at a high value, right? So a $10 coupon cuts into her margins, but not significantly into her margins. But people, once they, yeah, it's the Crazy Bead Lady. If somebody could, let me see if I can tag her. The Crazy. There she is. There's Linda. There's Crazy Bead Lady. So, you will find, thank you, Angie. Thank you, everybody. So she's going to get all these tags and be like, what? So the Crazy Bead Lady, that's what she did in order to keep it, and she spent time educating her buyers, and now she only has to do that every once in a while when a new person comes in and says, oh, but the shipping, oh, but the tariffs, right? Now it's actually what a US buyer pays for mostly is UPS customs brokerage fees. That is the significant portion for most buyers. That's the significant portion of what they're paying. But they are going to have to pay duties, taxes, tariffs, and then that to the government. And then on top of that, UPS is going to charge them a customs brokerage fee, which has been as low as $10 and as high as $29 US dollars, not Canadian dollars, US dollars. But again, if you are selling in a boutique category, people are going to buy no matter what, because that's the only way they're going to get what they want, and they're willing to pay that price. Because you're talking about a different mindset of buyer than, say, you're doing storage unit finds or estate sales. When I do estate sales or storage unit finds, they're looking for a deal and they don't want to pay more than they have to. So it's a different psychological mindset, and that's all you have to do is just teach, reassure, teach, and offer some sort of discount. Whether it's a $10 coupon, a $5 coupon, whatever you want to do, to just say, I understand it's going to cost you a little bit more, but here's some. Maddie's. Okay. And then let's see. Momo's asked, Whatnot Canada still has so many open categories still wide open. Nobody is selling liquidation items, electronics, sneakers, anyone. So there are some sneakers. There's actually a couple of really big sneaker sellers on Whatnot Canada that are like Premier Shop. It's January 2nd. January 2nd, next Friday. Unless we're not doing it next Friday, and that's okay. We don't have to. Yeah, one or two pet sellers. So yeah, there are open categories. So whatnot. So Whatnot has made it available for all categories for people to apply to be sellers on Whatnot Canada. They opened it up. Now, oi, come here. Mommy can't talk and listen to you squeaking. Nope. Leave it. Go play. No, I meant in general. What day is it again? It's Saturday. It's Saturday. Today's Saturday. And where am I? I'm here. You're there. I'm in Ontario. You're in Quebec, I think. I think you're home. I don't know. Where are you? So, yeah. So, but what Whatnot is doing is that they are strategically recruiting sellers in specific categories that are their most successful categories. So right now they're doing a big push with fashion sellers on Whatnot, which is why Melody and I are going to be doing a special fashion focused seller chat once a week on Fridays, Fashion Fridays. Can someone take that forking ball away from him? Okay, come here. Go see. Sorry, it's probably not as annoying to you guys as it is to me, but ooh, it's just in my ear. Um, so, oh yeah, Blooming Dave says that should work especially for the new handmade items fashion we are introducing. So unique, ethical clothing. Awesome. Yes, and there's currently a promotion for women's fashion sellers of 0% commission, which is awesome. I'm hearing a baby. Oh, are you with the baby? She's not happy today. Do you have the little one, the little granddaughter? That's so awesome. So yeah, Fashion Fridays, and our first guest is Selected Threads. It's going to be really awesome. So yeah, so message Melody, because Melody knows more information about this than I do. Blooming Dames. So my recommendation is that if you do sell in women's fashion, if you do have women's fashion, then sell women's fashion right now. Living the Dream says, I've been trying to find a way to source Canthra clothing. Anyone have any suggestions? Ooh, I have no idea what that is. Now I have to look that up too. Canthra clothing. Is that how you spell it? Cantha clothing. Oh, I see. It's like Cantha. Handmade from like Bohemian Cantha clothing. What is Cantha style? South Asian quilting tradition. Hippie clothes. Yes, it looks gorgeous. Made from old recycled fabrics. The traditional Cantha cloth is an example of flat, unwadded quilting worked on multiple layers of fabric. Patchwork. Yeah. So it's like you take all your old saris and such and you make these gorgeous quilted items. That's also very Asian too. Like East Asia as opposed to Southeast Asia. So yeah, I don't know, but if anyone does have a source, please message Living the Dream. Mia Vita asks, is there any way to go back and see comments and or buyers that joined your show after you end your show? No, you can't see comments afterwards, unfortunately, or see who came into your show, unless they bought something from you. So you can see your buyers, the people who purchased from you. You go to seller.whatnot.com after your show, and you'll be able to see out all your purchases, each one of your buyers, what they ordered, and so that you can do your shipments. Any fashion repurpose friends. Hello, Collecto Cards. Happy holidays to you as well. Romeo, are you going to come say hi? Come. No, not you. You're Loki. You already said hi. Romeo, wherefore art thou? Oh, Daddy's gone outside. And now it starts. Okay. All right. It is now 11:41, so I'm going to find someone to raid. If you have any shows you want to promote, feel free to. Thank you for hanging out. I'm sorry if I didn't answer everybody's questions, but can't get to everything. We're going to go into Graver of Trees. We haven't been to her in a while. She's doing 1850s to 1950s vintage and antique clothing. Hang on. Angie has a clothing show tomorrow. Collecto Cards is doing 7:30 tonight. Collecto Card Live. IBCC Shop asks, are there plans to add additional insurance on shipments? I talked to Canada Post and UPS, and they said it must be purchased before the label. You have to talk to Whatnot directly about that. Message Whatnot support. Tell them what you want to go to seller support at whatnot.com or message contact Whatnot and ask them about how you can add more insurance on. They do use Shippo, and they do have value on the item, so it may already be covered through Shippo. Sassy Mandu is going to be doing a show on Monday. Awesome. PB and J Trading is doing Wake and Vintage tomorrow morning at 10:30 a.m. Melody has a show tomorrow, 1:30 p.m. Eastern time, and a Fashion Friday begins next Friday morning with Kim on January 2nd. So yeah, awesome. I love you guys so much. Thanks for hanging out. This is on YouTube, so you'll be able to watch it on YouTube if you want to rewatch. If you have any questions, you can come into my Tuesday morning show. Tuesdays, Thursday morning, and Saturday, I do my seller chats. And in between, every once in a while, I try to actually sell. Pretend to sell. Need to sell more. But you know what? my living room now has floor. There's actually like flooring. You can see it. It's not just covered in boxes. We managed to move all the boxes downstairs. So now the basement is back to the way it was before, which is covered in boxes. So yeah, I love you guys so much. Have an awesome day. And I will see you soon. I will see you in a couple of days. I love you guys. Bye for now. Here we go. Let's ring.